Hey, what's up guys? Skills WG here and welcome back to another Brawlhalla video. Today guys, we are going to go over how to improve your movement like a diamond in Brawlhalla. So today we're going to go over movement options, how to get better, and just everything you can do to get better at moving quicker and moving faster in the game. So we'll just start off with some easy basic things about the game that you may not know. And then we'll work into more fast-paced, higher-level movement options in the game. So let's just start off with simple stuff. There's running, left to right, and your movement speed on your character depends on how fast you run and also how far in the air. And then you have jumping, which is just jumping in the air like this. And you have a few jumps in the air. You get one off the ground and two in the air, and then also a recovery. So these are all how you move around in the air and on the ground. Pretty simple, basic stuff. But then it gets a little more intense. So we have dashing. So dashing in the game is used by your dash and dodge button while you're on the ground, like this. So you can dash forward by holding with the direction you're facing, like right, and dashing, left and dashing. Then there is also back dashing, which is pushing the opposite direction you're facing and dash at the same time. So if I'm aiming right and I do left and dash at the same time, back dash. And I can do it back and forth real quick like that. There's so you can do it real quick like this. You can do two dashes forward and then back and then forward again. So there's a whole bunch of different varieties you can do. A lot of times people just do a couple at a time, maybe two, maybe three. But that is mostly dashing, and then there's dash jumping, as you can see I do right there. So you do your dash forward, and let me rephrase that last thing. You can also hold down. If I'm facing right and I hold the down button, you guys can see I'm holding S, which is down, and then dashing, and so it'll dash there. So after abilities like for downlight recovery, if I hold right after downlight and I try to dash jump, I actually get a dodge. Right, but instead, if I hold down after, I do a dash jump. Right, I can do a dash instead of dodging. So that is how you do downlight recovery, because a lot of people ask me, how do you do downlight recovery on blasters? And I have to, after an attack, I hold down and dash. And then back to dash jumping. So dash jumping is just dashing the direction you're going, and then holding or pushing jump right after. So that is dash jumping. And you can do it both ways. You cannot back dash. You cannot back dash jump, but you can forward dash jump. And you can do it back and forth like this. This is a quicker movement option, but is also dash jumping and just easy. That's a good way to get used to dash jumping and making it quicker. Is getting used to doing something like this and getting used to the timing of going back and forth. This is a more advanced like training, but it is a good way to train and get used to turning inside to side. All right, and then next for the movement options, we have fast falling. So fast falling is, so at regular falling speeds, I'll show you right here. This is a normal falling speed, like that. Now we'll go up here and we'll do fast falling. See, it's a lot different. Here, we'll do it one more time. Slow falling, fast falling, quite a bit difference. And when you're playing in the game, fast falling is the way to really get quicker and faster all over the place. So without fast falling, right, that's how I would jump around. I'm so used to fast falling, I'm trying not to. And with fast falling, right, you can see how much faster movement is, and you're able to mess up your opponent a little more by doing stuff like that. Okay, so that's like a general fast falling. Now what is fast falling? How do you do it? So at the peak of your jump, when you are about here, and you don't even need to go to the peak, just a little bit in, there's like a timing, I'm not sure where it is, but in the middle of the jump where you could push down, and you'll just fast fall right to the ground. So you have to push and hold down to fast fall down. And this is actually perfect training right here. It's just to try to do something like this, where you just jump up and down. This is like initiating the training of fast falling and going quick. So this is like you see how I'm going like this? This is the good fast fall. and then this is without fast falling. Quite a bit of difference, right? A lot less speed. You don't get as as much height as the other one, but you don't really need to most of the time. And then you start moving around, right? Then that's how you this is how you're training the fast fall. You got to move around like you would in a match. Up and down. Where you got to figure out when to push it. It actually takes a lot of training, and I even still mess up quite a bit when to push it. I do it a little too early sometimes. But then I try to get dashing involved. Yep, and there you go. That's the fast falling technique of the air, which is pretty useful. I use it almost all the time when I can. Just comes natural to me now. So try to get used to that. Definitely when you're a silver, gold, and sometimes even plat, they just don't fast fall and they're slow in the air, and that can make it easier to get hit. So we went over dodging in another video. If you guys haven't watched it, check out how to dodge like a diamond. But the movement options we've gone over so far is pretty basic stuff. Now we're getting a little more complicated things. But dodging, make sure you use your dodging as a movement option sometimes, okay? So like we used before, we used fast falling to use baiting out attacks. But if you're doing it faster like this, you go through your jumps a lot quicker than if you don't fast fall, right? Is what I suggest you do anyway. But because you do that, sometimes you have to use your dodge, that movement option, that final movement option, to get to a spot that you want to when you're attacking the player, right? And you want to get up away from the person for just one more jump, could really bait them out, or dodge into, attack them, dodge through an opponent. Use that angled dodge that you have in the air to really mess with your opponent a little bit. It's not something you want to do every single time, but it is a good option for movement and getting around your opponent and figuring out what they're going to do next and being safe with it. Speaking of dodging, if you didn't know, it's not entirely a movement option, but it's a dodging movement option. A lot of people, when you dash on the ground, you hold left or right and you dash, right? But if you dash and dodge, you see how I did that? I did a spot dodge while moving. So sometimes if we have this Cassidy down here and I want to get towards them and I think they're going to attack, I'll do this and that'll be in a perfect spot to attack. And doing that will give me all the immunity frames getting up to this person. So I will be free until there. So if they try to do a hammer sidelight or something in this position, I would be free to hit them really, really close. So that I'd count that as a pretty good movement option. I don't do that a ton of times, but it is a good way to get close without having to get hit. But once again, if you do this and they don't attack you, you're just in a good spot to get punished. So use it sparingly, but it is an option you can use. So think about all the options and how to, this is an options kind of video. What can you do? Next we have ledge canceling. So, or ledge dashing, edge canceling, dash. I don't know. We're calling it ledge dashing, ledge platform dashing, canceling, whatever. This is where I don't know what you call it, man, but it is where when you are jumping, you just use your dash key to dash on instead of dodge in the air. So when you're landing in the perfect spot, let's go over this here. You can use your dash key or dodge key to dash. So it's within a few frames, right? But when your character's body is standing right on top of the ledge there, or platform, I should say, use that key and you can dash. And then you can do it over and over again. It's without, in experimental right now, they have it a little bit more easier to do than actual ranked. But it's still good either way. And if you do it, it takes a lot of practice to get really good at it. I mean, you can see I still miss quite a bit. But you can see how much faster you can get from one place to another if you do it right. And also doing that means that you don't waste your dodge like I just do right there. So like if you waste your dodge to try to get closer, you can get really close to somebody. It's like if Cassidy's right there and I want to get to her, I could do this and then the dodge is bad, but I could do something like that instead of dashing or dodging towards her. And because of these platforms, they have a cool thing. If you backdash or go forward off the stage like that, right at the end, you have like this really good forward movement right here. And it kind of throws people off guard a lot. You can do it forward and back like that. You see how I did that? It doesn't matter how you do it. If you get dash right to the edge here, right where you just barely fall off, and then you can go through like that. And so you can get some faking movement as you're going away and then come right back to the opponent and hit them hard. Or you can just use it as getting back up, right? Just another way to get back away and come back, jumping like that. Those are some good options. I like to do that with blasters, where I come back and do that kind of movement, because they'll come at me sometimes. I do like side air. So those are pretty much all the platform special movements you can do, but there is a lot. And you could also do something that a lot of people do, is where they do this and then they throw their weapon. Cool, that was a great throw. But like that, and that'll like throw them into a spot where you can hit your opponent and then go after them. But it also depends on where your opponent is and stuff like that. But that is another idea for your movement. So let's use some of our things we've learned so far into attacks. We have blasters here, which is my main weapon, I would guess you would say. But let's see. So we'll start with dash jumping. And so you can do a normal dash jump side air, something like that, right? So you're using that dash jump to do a quicker side air rather than a side air right there. So if you do a normal jump side air from this position, you hit right there. You do a dash jump side air, you hit like right above Cassidy. So you get a lot more distance out of the dash jumps. Okay, so if you're far away, you could try it, and you'll get a lot closer. If they're aggressing you, you don't want to do the dash jump. But there's more you can do with this dash jump. So there's also a dash jump falling fast fall. Dash jump fast fall. So you have a normal dash jump, which is like this, but then you can also do a quick one like this. That is a dash jump fast fall. So same thing, when you get to the height of your jump, you push down, but you just do it with a dash jump now. Now you can do that. Now you can do a side air. Now you see my side air that never hit this Cassidy is when I was here, hit above her. Now the fast fall will hit her. It takes a lot of practice with this one because there's a lot more keys to hit. But as you can see, it does hit her on the ground. This is really good for rocket lance. Actually, it's good for like everybody. Have a lot more distance behind it, and it hits the grounded. But rocket lance just has so much more range than most weapons, so it hits really, really good. Then you also have reverse snares. Now, reverse snares are good on rocket lance, blasters. Orb is pretty good. Hammer's pretty good. There's probably a few more that I don't realize. But reverse snares. So reverse snares, just standing here, aren't really that impressive. But the dash jump, again, is where it comes really handy. So like this. So a regular nair is like that. And the good thing it works on blasters is that you can see the first hitbox of the dash jump nair is on the left side of Lucian here. But if you do the reverse, oops, that was not the reverse, like that, it hits the other side of Lucian, which is where you're attacking. And that's the hitbox that usually gets them. And same with like reverse nair. Rocket lance, it hits them at a different angle, a different timing. Hammer hits on a different side, so on and so forth. So there's a reason why you do that. In order to do that, you have to have prioritize neutral over side light. And when you go to attack, you do the dash jump just as normal, and then you hold up and the opposite direction. So that would be, for me, W and A, and you would get that. Okay, so you get to look at my keys that how I'm hitting it down there. Dash jump, reverse nair, light attack. There you go. Another movement and attack option, and then that's how you would use it. Now I get into really, really hard here. So specifically with blasters here, nair hits pretty high. It hits up here. When a standard person jumping would be like right in this area. Now you could do a fast fall, jump, dash jump, fast fall, reverse nair. There. Now that is a lot of, that one's not perfect for me yet, but you can see how like it hits so much lower. You can also do something like that, but the reverse is the better way, right? So that is extreme kind of movement option. It's very hard to do, but it is a movement option nonetheless, so we're going to put that in there. So as a movement attack option that you want to use in this game, same using W and neutral, or like aiming up and neutral prioritize over side light. Here's my controls. I have prioritize. I don't know why I have mouse. I used to play with mouse. Prioritize neutral over side light is how you have it set up. So when you push W and left, it does in your light attack, it does your neutral attack. Rather than if you had aim up and side and you did it and you had the other one not checked, it would do side light. The movement option is just using a dash. So let's say this Cassidy is going to do a hammer side light on me, okay, from her position. We'll go over where she's aiming. Let's say she's going to do a hammer side light. So you could do a reverse or a backdash. If let's say you're running away, like something like that. If you do that aim up option, you have your neutral light attack. Okay, works really good on blasters. You could also do like a side, which works good for some weapons, but some weapons are not that good. So this is like just a different option. You can do dash away side light or dash away neutral light. And I'm gonna say a lot, having this aim up as you're using your neutral is way better in my opinion. Because I used to play with both. Where side light was my main option, and definitely having neutral over side is the better way to go. But like I said, I made it to diamond the other way, so you can have it the other way. It's not a big deal. This is just another thing you can do to make it good. So once again, if this Cassidy's falling from the sky and trying to do a down air on me, if I'm right here, I can just back away like that, and I hit the Cassidy. There you go. Another option. All right, guys. I think that might be it for today. I hope I didn't miss any movement options that you could do in the game. There's a lot of different things you can do in movement, and with the movement options that I've kind of given you, let me know in the comments down below if there is something I missed. I'll try to give it a like, and then you guys can go down there in the comments and see if there's anything I missed. If you guys enjoyed the video, please hit the like button, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. We'll see you next time. Peace.